everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real Section 5 Football. And this is our season number 2, our 39th episode. And overall, we kind of hit a little milestone with this one. It's our 90th episode that we've done on Keeping It Real. So we're only about 10 away from the big 100. And like I said, I hope I'm going to have something special for that one. First, let's introduce the table. It hasn't looked like this in a while. It's not a mirage or anything.
I think
it's not a cutout, Dave.
let's hope he's here for the 100th.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
On the road.
On my far right, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach from East High. Welcome back, Coach Paul Brigandy.
Thank you, John, and hello, Dave. I know you had a very late night last night.
Late night with the Dodgers.
Yeah, but
3 o'clock.
Yeah, and so if you do fall asleep here, I'll try to
give me a little nudge and
keep you going.
And the man in the middle, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach for football and baseball, which I know he's really wrapped up in right now.
Well, it is the World Series.
Yeah. You can't get much bigger than that, I guess. Coach Dave Lanning. Coach.
John.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you. All right. Well, I guess we're just going to start getting into last week was the first round of sectionals for the A's, and it was everybody else's, the doubles, BCDs, that was their final game of the season.
Right.
Last week. So we're going to review those first, and then we'll get into next week. Everybody will be sectional play.
Well, it is sectional play across the board now.
Yep.
Right. The A's started last week because they have to play a crossover game later that takes up that extra block. But everybody's involved this week. All the seedings are set.
Yep.
And games start.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's win or collect the gear.
Yeah, right.
And why don't we talk about the matchups first? Then we can go back to last week and some of the outstanding performances. And we'll start with the double A's. Rush Henrietta drew the 1 seed, so they get the bye this week.
With a loss.
Yeah.
They draw a bye.
Just the way the points fell.
Mm-hmm.
They will play the winner of the Penfield and Aquinas game. Penfield ends up as the 4, Aquinas the 5. Now, Penfield's on a little bit of a hot streak right now. I think I said last week that they were my sleeper team.
Yep.
And they came up with another win. They're playing pretty good football right now. And Aquinas, of course, depending on injuries for them and who's healthy and who's ready to go. And
if Logan's ready to go this week,
they're a tough matchup for anybody.
Yep. So we're going to wait and see what goes on with that.
In the bottom half of the bracket, number 3, Pittsford plays 6, Fairport. It'll be at Pittsford Saturday at 2 o'clock. Fairport beat Pittsford earlier in the year, but they've kind of changed positions as of late.
You know, you talk about that. There's some teams that had the great starts, and then you see, like you had mentioned, the Penfield coming on. McQuaid's won a couple games in a row now, and it's all balanced itself out, that whole classification.
And in the other bracket there, number 2, UPrep, coming off a loss, will play McQuaid, who's won 2 straight now.
Now, let me just stop everybody right here now. Last week I had to go back and watch our show again because I think I picked somebody last week, and I picked McQuaid over
I thought
Fairport.
you picked Thomas. And they
No, you picked Thomas. I picked Schroeder.
I don't remember that, but go ahead.
So
if you did, good for you.
I
Let's get to the casino.
Yeah, where the real action starts.
Well, I'll be interested to hear your picks this week then.
I tell you, everything's just flip it.
And that, especially the double A's. It would not surprise me if any one of those teams won it. And even looking at a Rush Henrietta, who is the 1 seed, if they were to get a Penfield again, Penfield very confident they had played them, beat them before.
It seems like there's always an upset in the first round. Last year was the one. The
Rush
8 seed beat the 1 seed last year.
Yep.
So you never know. Moving on to the A1s, it's it wasn't chalk by any means there. Irondequoit is the 1 seed, and they did advance by beating Spencerport. Now they play the 4 seed Brighton. That'll be at Irondequoit. And in the bottom half of that bracket now is the number 6 seed and the number 7 seed.
Wow.
So 2 and 3 are long gone. Webster Schrader and Victor will square off in that one. Webster's the 6, Victor's the 7. That'll be at Webster.
Now, I was out last Friday night in Hilton. I watched Hilton and Schrader play. And our guy, help me, Coach.
Colin Watkins.
Watkins,
He's a player. He hurt Hilton with his feet last
Very
night.
athletic. Yes,
Yep,
he is.
Yep.
Yes,
And
he is.
you have a quarterback like that this time of year. I mean, yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, he looked fantastic.
Yeah, a few weeks ago he did it with his arm. Last week with his legs. So he's a versatile guy. He's tough to defend. And he's got a couple of weapons. The Amico kid that he goes to a lot.
Yes, good size
through
kid,
the air.
too.
Yep.
Good size, 6'2", 6'3".
The big play capability, that can hit the home run.
The thing
and
that I was surprised about with the Hilton that they didn't score, they shut them out, and that's kind of something people are overlooking maybe a little bit.
Yep.
But Webster's defense, I mean, they're very solid.
Now, on the other hand, Victor played a great defensive ball game the other night in stopping Thomas. Held Thomas to one score.
Thomas was the second seed.
Yeah. So Victor, they can be rock solid on the defensive side. They haven't scored a ton of points, but they score enough to win. In the top half of that, Irondequoit is the 1 seed, and Brighton, of course, defending champs. So
That's an interesting matchup.
they've been there.
Both teams run the ball very good. The Medina kid, and run quite in their power sets.
Right. In the A2s, a little more true to form. In the top half of the bracket, number 1, East High advanced, beating Wilson. Eastridge is the 5. They beat the 4 seed Gates to advance. They'll play East High at 6 p.m. on the 31st. And in the bottom half of that draw, it's the 2 and 3 seeds. Brockport is the 2, and they'll host Canandaigua on Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Well, a couple interesting things there. East High will play Eastridge. Eastridge beat them first game of the year, 7-6. But as I've watched East High this year, I mean they held Monroe to 16 points.
Yeah.
So they played great defense, and a couple of their younger backs have now stood up, and they may be the second best team in the whole area.
Yes.
When it's
played,
all said.
seem to
Talk
be
about a sleeper.
playing better every week.
Yeah. Let me throw a timeout in here
Go.
again because I just noticed something. I'm taking a look. You've upgraded your game.
There's no question about it.
This is all. Is this computer done now?
Yeah, I'm sort of auditioning, John, for other jobs. This is
Is
the
this
way.
part of
I
your resume portfolio?
Get into-
Building.
I need to
Building
get
a
into my pocket, and
You have a PowerPoint for this?
this is very impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, this is
I didn't know if we were going to be alone, if Paul would be back, so I figured I had to cover a little bit.
Prepared for anything. That's awesome, though.
Well,
Very
thanks.
good.
Thanks. In the Class Bs, they'll take a week off because there's only 3 teams playing in the Class B division.
Yeah, and actually, it might be 2 weeks off for Monroe because
It will be.
Yeah.
It'll be 2 weeks off for them.
Monroe will play the winner of the Batavia Honey Eye Falls Lima game, but they won't play till the 15th.
Right.
So Batavia Honey Eye Falls will square off next week. They'll take a week off. Right, Monroe's got 2 weeks. I'm not sure how they'll cover that time span, but they're going into it. You would have to say they're the class of the division.
Well, they've only given up 1 touchdown this year, but the one team that is in their classification, Honey Eye Falls, was leading Monroe at halftime, 7-6 when they did play, and then Monroe took it pretty good and scored in the mid-30s.
Might score 30 in the second half or something, right? So we know that they're dangerous. Their quarterback currently leads Section 5 in passing yards. Pootie Cunningham and Messiah Hampton, of course, is one of the many receivers that he's got to go to.
Yeah, I saw the young man to transfer from Irondequoit Walker, I think, had close to 100 yards receiving this last game. He had 7 or 8 catches.
And Louis Falou, he's got a few other weapons. In the Class Cs, they'll play this week, and Alexander Pembroke drew the 1 seed. They'll play Livonia. Leroy is the 4. They'll play Wellsville. The 5 seed Argonauts is 3. They'll play Hornell. And Letchworth, Warsaw Perry will play Haverling. Letchworth is the 2. Haverling's the 7. Going into it, certainly Alexander is undefeated. They've run the table, but Leroy Calmum's dangerous. ER we know has been there. They're experienced. We've got some weapons, so that could be an interesting one. Even though we've got an undefeated team going in, that's the C's. And finally, in the D's, they'll play this week. York Pavilion drew the 1 seed. They'll have a bye. And they'll play the winner of the 4-5 matchup, Attica, Notre Dame, Batavia, Byron Virgin. And then Canisteo, Greenwood will play Oakfield, Alabama, Elba. And Avon, the 2 seed, will play Geneseo, Mount Morris. And all those games are this weekend in the D division. So everybody's got to strap it up now. It's like season number 2. The Indies are playing too. They've got sort of an in-house tournament. Not sure exactly how it works, but Palmac is 8-0. They ran the table. They're going to play Penn Dundee this week, and Penn Dundee's 7-1. And Kearney's 8-0, and they'll have a game against Midlakes, who's 4-4. So
I think with them, they're going with their top 4 teams instead of 8.
Well, Lions is playing as well, and they're playing Clyde Savannah. Lions is 7-1. So I don't know exactly how that is set up, but that's what's going on in the Indies this week. So there's a few games Thursday night. Most of them are Friday and Saturday.
Well, some have been switched from Friday to Saturday.
Probably just for officials.
Halloween.
Halloween. You're right.
Halloween is Friday night.
Right, so that changes things.
I know the Aquinas game was changed from a Friday to a Saturday. And after that...
as far as I know, the last time I looked, Penfield's playing Friday night.
Okay.
So that's a game. Maybe I can get to that one. I'd like to see them play. And
hold on, Penfield's playing Aquinas.
Well, the last time I looked, it said Friday night.
Oh,
at Penfield.
Yeah, I know it's at Penfield, but I thought it was
right. Things change, and we'll
look again
stay
tomorrow.
tuned. Right. Hey,
well, when our guest comes in, we can ask him.
When's the game? I guess that's right.
Our guest happens to be from Penfield High School. So.
Right.
Right. I had an interesting conversation this weekend with Ben Newman's father.
Oh, yeah?
And I'll give you a little update on how he's doing. Remember, Ben was our player of the year.
Yep.
He's from East Rochester, and he ended up going to Wagner University.
Yes.
He is number 2 on the depth chart at quarterback.
Okay. A freshman.
He's been in 3 games and so far. And I believe that what his father told me is after 4 games, you lose your
red
so
shirt.
they're really trying to be careful. And what happened, I didn't think they were playing Central Michigan.
Oh.
And the starting quarterback's helmet went off. Had to go out. And Ben had to go in for 1 play. But that,
that counts as a game?
It may anytime you enter. I don't
Sometimes they can appeal, I know.
know. But that was due to that, so he's got 1 more. I guess he can play up to 4 after 4.
Okay.
But he's doing very well. He's very happy there. His father and mother seemed, that he is enjoying himself. And like I said, he's number 2 on the depth chart. There's a senior at the position right now.
Yep.
So he's right in the mix to be the starter at Wagner.
Good
Got
for
a
him.
chance for 3 years. Good. That is good.
Great kid.
Yes. Oh, awesome.
He did everything they could ask for at East Rochester and off the field as well.
Yep.
Let's look at some of the outstanding performances from last week, either sectional games or games leading up to the last block in the double A's. Irondequoit had a tough one with Spencerport last week. They won 12-7. They put 12 points up in the second quarter, and that was it. It held up. Miles Kedley, 12 tackles and a fumble recovery for Irondequoit in a pretty good defensive effort. They've been putting some points up, so I don't know what Spencerport did to them defensively, but...
Well, it was interesting. Irondequoit had a 12-0 lead. Spencerport had scored. Spencerport had made a stop, I think, and they had a roughing the kicker. and that hurt Spencer Port late. They then scored, and then they onside kicked, and it was interesting because it was a one that's kind of like a pooch kick, but the kicker ends up catching the ball.
Really?
And I guess it's considered a touch, even though the receiving team did not have it. So Runnequoit got the ball.
Oh, okay.
I guess you see a lot of those kicks where it hits then takes the big hop. This is one where he kind of popped it up and
never touched the ground.
Where the kicker himself ends up chasing it down and catching it.
But did it go 10 yards?
It went over 10 yards. But it was not, it was still ruled a Runnequoit ball.
Okay.
And then Runnequoit ran out the last 4 or 5 minutes.
I'm sure X-Dog was all over that.
Well, he was, because it's not something that you see often, where
the rules, I know.
You don't see that, and especially a kicker recovering, a little pop-up kick.
Never, yes.
But they ran out the clock and that. And so, they had a great game with Brighton last year. And, I think that they've had that circled on their schedule all year, that they hope to meet them somewhere. And I'm sure Brighton, as a defending champion, is looking forward to challenge.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I'm going to be Friday night. Friday night I will be at Runnequoit.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Well, as I said earlier, Victor, 12-6 win over Thomas. Mild upset, if you just base it on the points going in. Outstanding defensive effort for Victor to advance. Schrader did shut out Hilton, 17-0. Robert Kenny, 6 receptions for 84 yards in that ball game. Brighton, 35-14 over Churchville. Justin Medina continued his outstanding year, had 184 yards rushing, 9 tackles, and 4 touchdowns. So not a bad night's work for Mr. Medina.
His grandfather was our guidance counselor, our Play It Smart program.
Remember him?
Fred Medina. And Justin, I believe he's a junior, so he'll be around next year also.
And David.
Yep, David, yes.
Is that his dad?
Yes.
He played at Fisher for a while when I was coaching there. Yep. A good guy, solid guy. East, a big win over Wilson. Tay Brown, 159 yards passing, 1 rushing TD, 2 passing touchdowns for East. Brockport, 42, Arcadia 6. Canandaigua 35-29 over Athena. Kind of a shootout there.
Yeah, that was a wild game. That really was.
Canandaigua advances.
They've had an un-Canandaigua-like regular season.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm used to watching them maybe have 1 loss.
A little bit of a roller coaster.
I think they're 5-3 right now.
Yeah, they've been giving up a lot of points, which is uncharacteristic of them. But they're still Canandaigua, and we'll see what they do come sectional time.
Okay. Right. Eastridge over Gates, 28-19. Kamari Hayes, 185 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 8 tackles for Eastridge. And Tony Calkins, 11 tackles, 2 interceptions.
And that was interesting because Gates had beat them the week before.
Yeah. Yep. So pretty good performances there. Penfield over Rush. Zane Kropman has continued his outstanding year, 154 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns for Penfield. Dom Junta, the quarterback for Penfield, 1 touchdown pass, 4 tackles, and a fumble recovery on the defensive side. So we play some outside backer as well as quarterback. McQuaid over Fairport, 21-6. Mild surprise, I guess, but McQuaid seemed to be putting it together.
McQuaid is running around the Coit's offense right now.
Well, they pack it in and shorten the game with long drives.
And they just, just putting the behind those linemen and, sending a big wave of bodies at you.
And I'd like to touch upon that a little more after we get done.
Sure.
About
UPrep went out of section to play St. Joe's out of Buffalo. It took it on the chin, 41-21.
Joe's is good.
Although Gavin White continued an outstanding season with 160 passing yards, 138 rushing, 2 touchdowns. And Bryceton Thomas, 12 tackles for UPrep.
I followed Joe's a little bit in Canisius from Buffalo and them, and Francis. and the receiver from Joe's is going to Wake Forest, and they have a DB that's going to Clemson.
Wow.
Okay.
So
They're for real?
That's a little bit tough.
Well, you
And I
remember
know-
you prepped now. Two of those losses were to St. Joe's and St. Anthony's.
Yes.
Right.
So they lost the two.
Well, they're not afraid to go play people, that's for sure.
That makes you a better team. What do people say? You know?
This is the time of year when it helps, for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Pittsford 10-7 over Aquinas. Lorenzo Geminiani Vega, 42-yard field goal for the win. That's a highlight certainly for that young man. Yargananda hung on to beat Letchworth, Warsaw Perry 13-12. Ray Allen, a 27-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter to seal the win. He also had 7 tackles. Alexander Pembroke goes to 7-0 with a shutout victory over Wellsville. It's their 4th shutout of the year. Attica won their 3rd straight, 18-0 over Notre Dame Batavia. Byron Burgeon. Landon Nagel, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 9 tackles. And got a few more. Avon, who can score points in a hurry, 52. Oakfield, Alabama, Elba, 22. Cal Dogus, 3 touchdowns. But listen to this. He had 1 passing, 1 rushing, 1 receiving.
Wow.
So Dogus, he's been a 2-year starter, maybe 3-year starter for him. And he scores... He can score from all over the field.
He can do everything.
Bobby Bride, 15 tackles. Brady Ellsworth, 13 tackles for Avon. So they're a dangerous club going into sectionals. Let's see. York over Geneseo Mount Morris, 13-6. Liam Campbell, 18 tackles for York. Pal Mac goes to 8-0 with a 42-8 victory over Wayne. Congratulations to them for running the table. Mm-hmm. And Monroe also went out of section to play Timon out of Buffalo and came away with a 36-2 victory. Again, Pootie Cunningham, 9 for 12, 215 in the air, 3 touchdowns. Zaire McKnight, 16 tackles and a pick 6. Jermaine Montgomery, 12 tackles. As I said earlier, Cunningham leads Section 5 in passing yards, and his receiver, Messiah Hampton, is the receiving yards leader in Section 5. Zaire Banks Brown, 4 touchdowns and 188 rushing for Finney. North Star in their victory over Edison this past week. Bishop Kearney, one more. Kearney goes undefeated on the year, regular season.
Kearney, yes.
34-7 over Cardinal O'Hara. Again, another
Buffalo.
out-of-sectional team from the Buffalo area. They go 8-0. Austin Billings, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns for Kearney. Some outstanding performances in the last regular season games, and as well as the beginning of the sectionals.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Great job, Coach.
thank you.
You're the man.
I'm trying, John. I'm trying
I know,
really hard.
I know.
Thanks, buddy.
We're going to ice you down after this.
Yeah.
Maybe I can, when I grow up, make a trip like Paul does. Go
Well, it
travel the country. And,
it refreshes you.
Oh,
Dave. It
you know
really
what?
does.
I missed one. We missed the game.
What?
It's not a Section 5 game, though. We missed the game. High school game.
what game was that, John?
Massillon,
Oh.
21. McKinley, 14.
Oh, they beat him again.
Yep.
Was that an upset or was that expected?
No, they beat them 10 years in a row.
Okay. All
It
right.
might be more than that.
No, they're at
Was it
10. Yeah, so I talked to Dave. Not Dave, excuse me, Tom. And everybody's all happy and giddy,
Was the game at Massillon this year?
No, it's
or-
at McKinley.
It was at McKinley.
I'll be at the game next year.
when it's in Massillon.
Masson. If anybody ever wants to watch a football game, go to McKinley.
That's a great venue. Yeah, to
It's
watch a game.
unbelievable. So, yep, there was no fights or anything. I guess
Well, that's
everybody-
good.
Well, they didn't shake hands after the game. But
And-
here's something though I'd never seen, but I kind of liked. The captains and coaches came to the center field and shook hands after the game.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I've been saying that for years. I believe in the handshake pregame. Mm-hmm. Good luck. Hopefully nobody gets injured and the whole deal.
Right.
After the game, coaches, fine. Great idea.
Captains?
Captains, fine. If you take a tough loss, that handshake is meaningless.
Yeah,
It is.
And in fact, I think they had something in the Bills-Panthers game with Deion Dawkins.
Yeah.
With one of the Panthers linemen at the end.
Yep. So
if you win, you're all giddy, and it's
nobody wants to shake hands to begin with, win or lose. Correct?
Well,
Am I wrong? When you're done with the game, I'm so wrapped up with the kids, making sure your kids are good and everybody's good, and they don't want to shake your hands. Just
I think
let
it's
the
a great
captains-
idea before the game.
before and after, the captains and coaches. It was really a classy thing that I seen.
No problem with
Yep,
that.
yep.
No.
Now, a couple other things I said I wanted to touch bases on a little bit, and I just thought of another one. There's down in Pennsylvania, they're talking about getting away from classifications. They do their classifications like on enrollment, and they're talking about getting rid of that because teams are just getting outmatched. So,
And what are they thinking of doing?
they're going to look at their teams last 10 years
Power schedule?
and
Like
then put it together leagues as far as that is, as far as putting a leagues together as
Right,
far as,
right.
Win losses, how many if you got any Division I players or whatever stuff like that. So
that's interesting.
So and then the other one is just a quick touch in our special guest is
Player of the
here.
week is here.
And we're going to get up to him pretty soon right now. But I'd like just to talk a little bit about, we were talking about what I'm seeing is a lot of stuff I see on TV. I see the 4-2, the 4-3. I mean, coach your kids. You may not have kids like that, a 3-4. You know what I'm saying? Offensively, I see spread. Everything's out. Coach your kids.
Well, that's always been the case, though.
But
it's always a trickle down. I mean, years ago, the wishbone was
Right.
right.
Oh, I know.
Because Texas was running it. And then-
Fairport was
It's a
running it.
copycat.
Yeah.
It's a copycat
I know, but-
league, and what happens is the pendulum swings. You see a lot more wide open spread formations. Now you're seeing teams get into more power sets, and then defense has to adjust and be able to match up. And right now, they have not been able to match up to some of these power sets that some of the teams
I've
are
said for
running.
the last couple of years, if teams ran a traditional fullback and a tight end, teams would have a tough time defending because they don't see it. Nobody sees it
Right.
anymore.
Nobody
Right.
sees it.
And-
But now you're right.
It's
swinging the other way.
everything is spread. Everything's outside. Get the ball in open grass. Defensively, play a 3-4, a 3-5.
And
I don't know that you need four receivers.
And the other thing is, again, you got to look at your personnel.
Yes.
And if you don't have that running quarterback, then some of those things that you may see that other teams that are successful, but you can't do that.
High schools don't have the ability to go out and recruit players or draft players specific to a position.
And you've seen in some of the cases, if you get an injury at that particular position, you have a stud, he gets injured. Now is your next man up? Is he comparable or not? And then that changes what you try to do offensively or defensively.
Perfect example, Aquinas. Logan goes down, and now they're kind of like,
Nope,
they're
they've
kinda
got to
like this
go
because
to,
they're a horse.
right. But
but,
you do what gets you there, and you hope to stay healthy.
I think it's more important to coach your kids than it is to coach a type of offense or a type of defense.
Right.
Especially around.
It's great to have an identity.
Yeah.
This is who we are. This is what we do. But you have to adjust.
Okay.
No,
We are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to have on our Player of the Week from Penfield.
Ronan Boyle.
And he just showed up right now. He's ready to go. And we will be right back. So everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Keeping it real, Section 5 football.
We'll be right back. Good evening, everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real Section 5 Football. And as you can tell, we're back at it again with our special guest. But before I get to him, I got to introduce my partners. On my far, far right, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach from East High School, Coach Paul Brigandi. Coach.
Thank you, John. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, Dave.
Hey, Paul.
And our coach in the middle, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach from Fairport High School for football and baseball, Coach Dave Lanning. Coach.
John, pleasure.
And Coach is going to introduce our player of the week this week.
Be happy to. This week we have an outstanding young man, athlete, scholar from Penfield High School, Ronan Boyle. Ronan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Your ball club is hot right now. You've won 2 or 3 straight?
3.
3 straight. Kind of a rough start.
Mm-hmm.
What's turned it around for you?
Turned it around was just staying at it every single day, getting better, and over the course of the year, staying in the weight room. It shows.
It does show.
You bring up a great point. I know you got one of the best strength coaches around in Jim Beluco, on your staff. And I always felt a stronger team, you continue to keep your strength levels up, and it will pay off later on in the season. And I think it definitely is paying off for you guys.
Yeah, maintaining, I think, is important.
Maintaining, right.
A lot of teams will get after it early and then let it
stop
slide.
once the season starts.
Good for you. Well, you're in sectional play this week. You've got Aquinas. You're hosting Aquinas.
Mm-hmm.
And how'd you do with them earlier in the year?
Earlier in the year, we didn't do well, if I'm being fully honest. We weren't able to run the ball, and we weren't able to stop the run.
What block did you play them? First, second? Was it early?
It was early. I want to say
3?
Yeah, third
week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your ball club compared to then? You're rounding into shape defensively as well as offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your running attack's been outstanding. I know you had an injury early in the year to A.J., but Zane Krautman stepped in and has done an outstanding job. Your O-line has been able to stay intact through the year.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And you play both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir.
As a tight end, you've got 23 receptions. You've scored 3. On the defensive side, where do you play?
Defensive end.
Which side of the ball do you prefer?
Offense.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, down the road, is that where you see yourself?
Yes, sir.
Because I know you've been recruited and you've committed to the military academy at West Point. How'd that all come about?
Going through the recruitment process, a lot of colleges, universities reached out to me, and obviously West Point being a standout as an institution, one of the best in the country, and then as a football team, I just found my fit.
Well, I got to say, I've been to the Army-Navy game, and I tell you, that is some spectacle. I don't know if you've ever been to the Army-Navy football game, but it is fantastic, both academies, that they have a poster up in that, we were mentioning the one, the saying from General MacArthur, but there also is a saying. They have a poster, shows a line of scrimmage, and it says the Army-Navy game is the only game where the people playing in it are willing to die for the people watching it.
Yeah.
And it is very powerful.
It is.
And I'm going to tell you something. Anybody that's out there, if you ever get the opportunity to go to that game, I've been to a lot of great football games, but that's the best spectacle to go to. You'll see a flyover. You have all the military garb, both naval and Army, in the atriums. Mm-hmm. The march-ins. It is amazing.
And with my experience with that, I've been to a couple of Army games down at West Point, and I will tell you, we've been to a lot of other colleges and coaches clinics and all that throughout our years. And I don't know if it's just, I know it's not just me, but as soon as you walk on campus, you're feeling this. It's different. It's just something about being at West Point. It's really, really just different, and it's amazing just walking around. There's not a speck of garbage, no, anything. There's not there's nothing around. I mean, it's really impressive that they do what they do, but they are the best of the best, and I just, the times that I've gone down there, every time I've been just amazed at just how manicured the campus is and everything. It's just, I heard a guy once say, if you got manpower and money, you can go a long ways, and they sure have it there. So,
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Now, Ronan, did you have some other schools reach out?
I did.
Recruit you?
Stony Brook?
Who else was involved?
Stony Brook offered me, as well as Cornell and UV.
Okay.
So your grades must be pretty good too, right?
Yes, sir.
They got to be. If those people are going to come looking for you too, you got to have good grades for that. So, what is your thoughts now? Go ahead, Paul.
Are you captain of the team?
Yes, sir.
How many captains do you guys have?
We have about 5.
And 5. And tell a little bit about the leadership role you have with your team and some of the things you're doing to keep your teammates focused.
So, throughout our captains, we have captains on both sides of the ball and on special teams. My role, I'd love to say that I get after it. I love to set a standard and really not fall short effort-wise on any single play, on any single moment, practice or game.
Are you a vocal type of leader? I mean, or are you just show actions? You know what I'm saying? Actions are louder than words sometimes, or sometimes words are louder than action. Which one do you think you are, or maybe a combination?
I hope to become a combination, but I definitely think my actions speak louder than my words.
Well, that's not a bad trait to have right now.
Well, it's important to know who you are too, because your teammates can read through any nonsense. They know if you're not real. Win or lose, when the season ends, you're also a lacrosse player. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
What do you play in that sport? Defense.
I play defense in LSM.
Okay, good for you. And traditionally, Penfield lacrosse is pretty strong too.
Yeah, I think they won the sectionals. Didn't they beat McQuaid last year? Yeah. I went to that game. Right. A nice team.
So, what are your thoughts of this week now coming up?
This week,
with Aquinas,
I think nothing's going to change. I think we're going to continue to focus on ourselves and just continue the grind.
And you got to get after it, because
we do.
If you don't, you hand in your gear.
We do. Win or go home.
How about a shout out to some of your teammates? Who else is having an outstanding year?
Well, Zane Kropman. I think that's the name around the town. It's I love it because it reflects of how much of a hard worker he is. He really just gets after it every single day, off season or in season. So,
good.
How about up front? Some of your O linemen.
Up front, they love getting after it too, and they don't get enough recognition because everything is run through them. Exactly. I'll start on the left. It's Gavin Earl, Nate Masters, Jackson Warden, Finn, and then Jack Biddleman. They're just.
Is it a senior-laden group or underclassmen as well?
I'd say senior-laden group.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's great. You had good senior leadership. You got off to the slow start, and you redirected the ship. And right now you're going in, not clicking on all cylinders.
And let me go back a little bit. When I reached out to Coach Bianchi this week and I was going to go with Zane, but then I said, well, do you have anybody? And first one he mentioned was you. So I know he thinks a lot of you as far as your leadership skills. And it's just nice to see that, that on what we do here isn't always about the numbers. It's about the person. And you are the most impressive young man that we've had on this, just because of what you've done and where you're going. I mean, your future in front of you is just, it's just amazing. And, it's just very proud of what you're doing for yourself, your family, the school, Rochester, New York, and everything. It's just, Army Navy is just Army is just very, very special. It's just very special.
Well, Ronan, we wish you the best of luck this week. You've been a great representative for Penfield, certainly, in Section 5 football. Good luck.
Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Now, at the end now, we're just going to, say what we, keeping it real, Section 5. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Keeping it real, Section 5 football.
Good night, everybody. Have a great
One in a million, super rich. Got so much dough, I don't know what to do with it. Suddenly, a part of me just wants to go back to how it used to be. Suddenly, a part of me just wants to go back to how it used to be.